Dear students, in this session we are going to start learning the basics of JavaScript. JavaScript, the basics. The topics included in this module are client-side scripting using JavaScript, its introduction, core features, data types and variables, operators, expressions and statements, functions, objects, array, data and mark related objects, document object model, event handling, controlling windows and frames and documents, form handling and its validations. So this module takes a total of 9 hours to complete and 15% of marks questions are from this module for your university examination. Now we can see the introduction of JavaScript. JavaScript is a scripting language most often used for client-side web development. So JavaScript is a scripting language. We know that there are two types of scripting, client-side scripting and server-side scripting applications. So JavaScript is a client-side scripting language which is used for web development. Since this is a client-side scripting language, the effect of JavaScript will appear on web browsers. JavaScript is an implementation of the ECMS script standard. So JavaScript is implemented on ECMS script standard, and this ECMS script standard defines the syntax, characteristics of the language and a basic set of commonly used objects such as number, date, regular expressions, etc. The JavaScript is supported in browsers typically support additional objects, example window, frame, form, DOM object, etc. So this JavaScript is supported in the browsers that typically support additional objects like this windows, frames, forms, document object model. Likewise, different brands or different versions of browsers may support different implementation of JavaScript. Browsers are not fully compatible with JavaScript applications. JavaScript is also termed as JScript. Actually, JScript is the Microsoft version of JavaScript. Now we can see what can we do with JavaScript or what are the features of JavaScript. JavaScript is used to create interactive user interface in a web page. For example, we can create menus, pop-ups, alert boxes. For example, if you provide the login details to enter to a particular website, suppose you are trying to log in without password, an alert will appear with message, enter your password, and this type of applications can be done in JavaScript. Then JavaScript is used for manipulating web content dynamically. So in order to make the web page interactive and also dynamic, that is changing the content and style of one element, we can use this JavaScript. JavaScript also uses to replace images on a page without page reload. Then JavaScript is used to hide or show the contents. Then JavaScript generates HTML contents on the fly and it can be used for form validation technique. Then another thing is that Ajax. Ajax is a technique which is based on JavaScript which is used on the client side to create asynchronous web applications. Now we can see the useful resources and interesting examples. JavaScript tutorials. For downloading the tutorials, You can visit the w3schools.com and you can see a lot of examples in W3 schools. JavaScript examples are there, JavaScript object examples are there, JavaScript HTML DOM examples are there. For JavaScript DHTML GUI components, that is dynamic HTML GUI components, you have to visit java2s.com site. Then for editing the grid, edit grid purposes, you have to visit editgrid.com. Now we can see a simple example. This is a simple script. Here an HTML document is started with HTML tag, head tag, and title specifies the title of the web page. Here the title is first JavaScript page. Then the title tag and head tag are closed. In the body part, an H1 tag is opened with content first JavaScript page and H1 is closed. After the H1 tag, there is a tag called script tag with type attribute. Type attribute takes a value text bar JavaScript. That is the opening of script tag. Inside the script tag, it specified that document.write of HR. Document.write of HR. So what happens here it is, actually in scripting in JavaScript, document.write specifies that the print happened to be on the web page. A print happened to be on the web page, and the printing component here is, or printing data here is HR tag. So HR in HTML stands for horizontal line. So what happens here it is, a horizontal line will be placed in the body of corresponding web page after the text first JavaScript page, which is placed in header H1. Then the next line in script is document.write hello world wide web. So again another print statement is executed in JavaScript. The print statement is document.write, and here the content to be printed or displayed is hello world wide web. Then after that, document.write HR. Document.write HR means again a horizontal line is printed on the body of the corresponding web page. Then script tag is closed, body is closed, and HTML is closed. So here the thing is that inside the script language, we print a line, then we print a textual value, then again a line is drawn. So in JavaScript, the basic command for displaying an item in a web page is document.write. We know that in case of C language we are having printf, then in Java we are having system.out.println, like print.println, like formats. Here in JavaScript, the command which is used for printing is document.write. So what happens here it is, the what all things are placed inside the document.write function that will be displayed in the body of the web page. So we can see the corresponding execution on browser. Here the title of the corresponding page is first JavaScript page, that is on the address bar. Then comes first JavaScript page header. Then after that the script tag is opened. Inside that the first statement is a horizontal line. Then after that a text is there, hello world wide web. Then again horizontal line is there. Another important point that you have to remember is that we can place HTML tags inside the scripting code. The best example is document.write of HR. HR is actually HTML tag which is used for drawing horizontal line. So this is also possible. We can embed HTML in the document.write function. So this is just just an example, simple example which is related to JavaScript. Embedding JavaScript. Here there is an example. In this example, we are trying to include an external JavaScript file in our web page. In the previous example, we include the script in the body of the corresponding web page. Here what we have to do is, we are trying to include an external source file. In our CSS module, we already studied that CSS can be placed in three levels. One is inline, second is internal, and third is external. So here also, for placing JavaScript code, we can use external files. So the extension for JavaScript file is .js. For CSS file, we studied that it is .css. For creating JavaScript files, we have to use the extension .js. Now we can see the example. Here HTML tag is there. Then head tag is there. Title tag is there. Title contains the value. First JavaScript program. Then title is closed. Head is closed. Then after that, the body tag is opened. Inside the body tag, script tag is opened. Script tag, it is specified that type is equal to text bar JavaScript. So like previous example, the script attribute type is specified with value text bar JavaScript. Then after that attribute, another attribute is included, SRC. SRC stands for source. So source attribute is there, where which can take, the source attribute can take the value of the external file name, the URL of external JavaScript file. So the source attribute can take the URL of external JavaScript file. It can be an absolute path or it can be a relative path. Then after that, the script is closed, body can be closed and HTML can be closed. Now we can see what are the contents in external JavaScript file. So here it is used as the your underscore source underscore file .js. So inside your underscore source underscore file .js, what all contents are there is, the small box is the content of your underscore source underscore file .javascript file. Inside the corresponding source file or JavaScript file, it contains three statements: document.write of HR, document.write of hello world wide web, document.write of HR. Like it is almost similar as that of previous example. So inside this particular JavaScript file, there is three print statement. The first print statement is to generate a horizontal line, that is document.write of HR. Then second statement is document.write of hello world wide web. This is used for printing hello world wide web on the body of web page. And the third one is document.write of HR. This also generates a horizontal line. So here what is actually happening is, we are placing all the JavaScript codes in some other file and we are trying to use that particular file inside an HTML code. This is almost similar as that of embedding. It is almost similar as that of external style sheets. We have to include external style sheet to our HTML document. Here what we have to do is, we have to include the external JavaScript file to our corresponding HTML document. But the thing is that we have to use script tag, then we have to specify the type attribute. After that we have to specify the source attribute. That is important. Source attribute mentions by the letters SRC, which contains the URL of JavaScript file. So use the source attribute to include JavaScript codes from an external file. The included code is inserted in place. Embedding JavaScript, the scripts inside an HTML document is interpreted in the order they appear in a document. Scripts in a function is interpreted when the function is called. So where you place the script tag matters. So here what it is mentioned is, wherever we are placing the script tag, the corresponding JavaScript code will be executed. So it is an important thing about the position of script tag in the body of HTML page. So what happens here it is, the HTML interprets the script data in the order where they are placed in the JavaScript file. Likewise, the corresponding things are displayed on the web page. That is why it is stating that the place of script tag matters. Now we can see how we can hide JavaScript from incompatible browsers. We can hide JavaScript from incompatible browsers with placing comments, and also we can use the NoScript tag. While we are studying frames in HTML, if some browsers didn't support the frames, they can use for user knowledge, they can use no frames tag. Likewise, if our browsers are not supporting the JavaScript code, there is a tag called NoScript tag. By using this NoScript tag, the browser can convey the data there. It does not support the JavaScript. There is an example. Here a script tag is open. Script type is equal to text bar JavaScript. Inside the script tag, some scripting statements are there, and these scripting statements are enclosed in comments. Then after that script is closed, then NoScript tag is open. It contains data. Your browser does not support JavaScript, and NoScript tag is closed. So what happens here it is, while we are executing this particular document, if our browser did not support the JavaScript code, what happens it is, the text in the NoScript tag will execute. That is, your browser does not support JavaScript. Otherwise, what happens is, it ignores the NoScript tag and publish all the things inside the script tag. So if our browser supports scripting, it executes all the corresponding statements in the script tag and ignores the NoScript tag. Now we can see the functions alert, confirm and prompt in JavaScript. Here there is an example. A script tag is opened with type attribute text bar JavaScript. Then come some statements in the script tag. Alert, this is an alert method. Then confirm, are you okay? Prompt, what is your name? Prompt, how old are you? 20. Then script tag is closed. So these alert, confirm and prompt are some functions in JavaScript for creating some new message boxes. So alert is a box which is used to alert the user. So here, while we are executing this alert command, alert, this is an alert method. The display will be like this. This is an alert method with a warning symbol and an OK button is there. And this can be used for web applications for making it more interactive. Now another type of function is confirm. Confirm, are you okay? So the corresponding appearance of confirm function is a message box like this. Are you okay? Two buttons are there, OK button and cancel button. So this type of control can be generated. Then prompt function is there. Prompt function which is used to where in case of prompt function it generates a message box where user can input something or some data. So the prompt of what is your name, the browser will or the execution of that command will generate a window like this script prompt. What is your name? Then there will be a text field for specifying your answer. Here also OK button and cancel button are there. Now we can another example for prompt is there. Prompt how old are you? Here 20 is the answer. So what happens here it is a message box is created like this. The question is how old are you? And the text field is there. By the default, the text field is having the value 20. User can either edit the corresponding value and click OK, or he can give new value. He can either specify OK or cancel. The thing is that while you are using these commands alert, confirm and prompt, the control or focus will be given to the corresponding message boxes. By taking any action in the corresponding message boxes, then it will move back the focus to the corresponding HTML web page. So alert box is used for creating alert messages. Confirm box is used for creating confirmation messages. Then prompt, it is used for taking some input data. Now we can see the functions alert and confirm. So alert function with parenthesis. Inside the parenthesis, we have to specify what is the text to be displayed. It displays a message in a dialog box. The dialog box will block the browser. So alert function will always take a parameter, that is the text that is to be displayed in the corresponding alert box. This dialog box will block the browser means by only giving an answer to the alert box, it focuses the control back to the web page. Then confirm. Confirm is are you sure you want to delete? For such type of messages, you can create the confirm box. So you can create confirm box like this. Variable answer, VAR in JavaScript stands for variable. VAR answer is equal to confirm, are you sure? So here also confirm function takes an argument, that is the text to be asked to the text should be the message that should be asked to the user. Are you sure? That is the text to be asked to the corresponding user. Then it can have two buttons, an OK button and cancel button. That answer is stored in the answer variable. So display a message in a dialog box with two buttons, OK and cancel. Confirm returns true if the user click OK, otherwise it returns false. So what will be the data in the answer variables? It is either having true value or false value. If the user clicks OK button, this answer variable is having true value. If the user clicks cancel button, this particular answer variable is having false value. Now we can see the prompt function. Prompt function is used to interact with the user. Prompt function is used for generating a message box, and inside that message box the user can interact with the corresponding browser. Here there is an example, prompt what is your student ID number. So a message box will appear with question what is your student ID number. Then a text field is there and two buttons are there, one OK button and another cancel button. So if the user enters the corresponding student ID number and press OK button, the data will be moved, or if the corresponding user is entered, if the user is not entered any value and press OK, what happens here it is there is no default value defined. So it will take the value undefined. Now another prompt function is there which contains the text what is your name. So the message here appears is, or the question that appears on the message box is what is your name. Then a text box is there. Then OK button is here, cancel button is here. The text box is having a default value no name. If the user not specifies any value, no name will take as answer by default. Otherwise, it will take the, if the user inputs value, the browser will take the correct value. So in this prompt function normally take two arguments. First argument is the display message and that allow the user to enter a value. The second argument is the default value to be displayed in the input text field. Without the default value, undefined is shown in the input text field. So if you are not specifying any default value, undefined is taken as the corresponding answer. So for the first question, the default value is undefined, and for the second example, the default value is no name. If the user clicks the OK button, prompt returns a value in the input text field as a string. So what happens here it is, if the user inputs some data and click OK button, so what this message box do is it returns the answer as a string value to the corresponding inputting text field. It returns the value in the input text field as a string. So wherever this prompt is called, that area it will return back to as a string value. If the user clicks cancel button, prompt returns null. So if the user is not answered the corresponding question, simply click the cancel button, the prompt function returns a null value. So these are the three types of message boxes available in JavaScript. Hope you enjoyed this session. Wishing you all success. Thank you.